So my wife sent me this morning. OSHA is flip-flopping. OSHA first stated if you require your employees to be snake bit as a condition of employment, then any adverse reaction to the snake bite is work-related. The adverse reaction is recordable if it is a new case under 29-1904.6 and meets one or more of the general recording criteria of 29 CFR 1904.7. That's what OSHA site may have stated a few days ago, but now the message is completely different. DOL and OSHA, as well as other federal agencies, are working diligently to encourage COVAX. OSHA does not wish to have any appearance of discouraging workers from receiving the stab, and also does not wish to disincentivize employers' stab efforts. As a result, OSHA will not enforce 29 CFR 1904's recording requirements to require any employer to record worker side effects from the stab through May 2022. We will reevaluate the agency's position at that time to determine the best course of action moving forward. So injuries from employer-mandated stabs will no longer be counted as a workplace injury. That turnaround was even quicker than George Orwell. United States Department of Labor, OSHA, Section 1904, Determination of New Cases. This is the record-keeping forms and recording criteria determining new cases. And this is what that article I just read a second ago pertains to. The employee previously experienced a recorded injury or illness of the same type that affected the same part of the body, but had recovered completely. All signs and symptoms had disappeared from the previous injury or illness, and an event or exposure in work environment caused the signs or symptoms to reappear. In this section here, it talks about when an employee experiences the signs or symptoms of a chronic work-related illness, do I need to consider each recurrence of signs and symptoms as a new case? No, for occupational illnesses where the signs and symptoms may recur or continue in the absence of an exposure in the workplace, the case must be recorded once. Examples may include occupational cancer, asbestosis, biocinosis, and silicosis. When an employee experiences signs and symptoms of an injury or illness as a result of an event or exposure in the workplace, such as an episode of occupational asthma, must I treat the episode as a new case? Yes, because the episode or recurrence was caused by an event or exposure in the workplace, the incident must be treated as a new case. And this is from the same site. This is 1904.7. Also of the record-keeping forms and recording criteria. Basically says that the employer is not liable even if it causes your death. Days away from work, they cannot be held responsible even if they require the stab for means of employment. So if you was to go get it, have a reaction days later or weeks later that causes severe injury or death, the company cannot be held liable as far as OSHA standards are required. They will not be enforcing Section 1904 against businesses. And I've told many of people in the past, when OSHA comes out with their new guidelines, beware, because this is when they're going to make corporations and businesses not only require their employees to be stabbed, but also going to enable them to ultimately require proof for people entering their establishment. So this is it's fixing to get real, guys. Fixing to get real.
Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints,